Hello there, and welcome to the Weekend Eve. I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice, and this is Any Given Sunday on KUAW. The phone number is 816 599 6893 is the phone number, so give us a call. Speak your piece. We would love to hear you. Coach 24, Darwin Penny, my brother with another mother, is not here tonight. In fact, he's not going to be here tonight or next week. So we already have that planned. His job has taken him away, so he will not be here for the next 2 weeks at least. But I have the man who's running the show, the guy, the producer, DJ Scatter, George Walker. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing just fantastic and glad to be here with you this evening.
Oh, I am glad to be here with you too. So enjoying it big time. Now, a week ago, we were all prepared for the NFL draft, and they were getting ready to do drafting roughly roughly an hour, 7 o'clock, that they were going to start doing it. Though it was obviously later because they had to get in all the people that oh my gosh, I can't even think of it right now. The sponsors, that's what it is. They had to get all their sponsors in, all their commercials, all the ads, all that stuff. So but it was a really great event. They had over 300,000 people. And it was the highest rated NFL draft of all time. And Kansas City just knocked it out, which I had no doubts about it. And George Walker and myself, we both went to the draft on Friday. Now, a good friend of mine, Cardis Rogers, he went Thursday. And so then he took me Friday to go out there. So I thank you, Cardis, for doing that for me. And so we were out there, and we were over at the Liberty Memorial going down the steps, and then you have that wall. And he said, and so Friday, I'm looking out, there's people there, but not a lot of people. And he told me, he said that you could not see grass at all because there was that many people. And I was just like, wow. And that was way in the back. And so we were able to get down towards the stage, the back part of the stage, which if you see it on TV, you're like, wow, you are pretty close. But no, we wasn't. But we could see the TVs, of the screens that shows all the players getting drafted and Roger Goodell or other people. Now, the thing of it was Bob Kendrick not in town? Because I just could not understand why Bob Kendrick did not get to announce a draft pick. I was asking.
Oh, he's baseball.
Well, still, it doesn't matter. He's Kansas City. So I didn't care if it was baseball it was football, but, he should have been able to announce a player. So the Chiefs ended up getting 7 players. The first one was a Kansas State edge, and I'm going to try to say this name right, so please be patient with me. Felix Anudik Azuma. I think I got that right. So, but anyway, he is a high energy player from Kansas State. I think he's going to be just like George Karlaftis, and that is going to make the Chiefs' defensive line even better. You put Chris Jones in the middle, and then put Felix and Karlaftis on each end. Oh my gosh, our defense could get better. And Patrick Mahomes may finally start playing with a NFL defense that's in the top 10, kind of like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's first 3 Super Bowls, he had arguably the best, one of the best defenses around, and that's what got him into the Super Bowl, and that's what got him his championship. So, but anyway, we got that K-State edge guy, and then we got a wide receiver from SMU, Rashid Rice, and a lot of people was saying that if he matches or if he maxes his potential, he could be another Dez Bryant. And to me, that is a big wide receiver. When I first heard of him, I thought, okay, maybe he's going to be another small receiver, Tyreek Hill type guy. But no, it sounds like he's going to be more of a possession receiver. So that I think that one's pretty good. And then we've got Oklahoma offensive tackle Wanya Morris. I think I said that. Wanya Morris. He was the other tackle at Oklahoma because they were thinking about trying to get him, the other tackle, and I can't think of his name offhand, but getting him in the first round, and he was taken well before the Chiefs picked in the first round. So they ended up getting his the other side of that offensive line tackle. So, here is the thing. The Chiefs, they didn't have needs. You look at the Houston Texans, they had needs. They needed a quarterback. They needed defense. Carolina needed a quarterback. You had those teams, and most everybody needed players. They needed positions. The Chiefs just needed to rebuild and just get better and have backups, because of Andy Reid's system. He always likes having practices where he will take out players and say, okay, this player is out, and they replace them with another player so they can get them in and run how it is, because injuries are a big part of the NFL. It's it's a big part of all sports. If you're a professional athlete, there are going to be injuries because you're playing at your top, you're playing 100%, you're at 100% full go, and injuries are going to happen. So the Chiefs did, even though they said, well, we need wide receivers, we lost all of our wide receivers. We only lost Juju. That was the only wide receiver we lost. And we pretty much replaced him with some other players. But, we had that wide receiver group, and we won a Super Bowl, or I should say Kansas City won a Super Bowl. The Chiefs won a Super Bowl with that type of wide receivers and tight ends and stuff. So I don't want to hear about it. I just know that a lot of teams are going out of their way to make sure that they are building up. And what they are doing, they are building to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They are building to knock off the Chiefs off the pedestal, because right now they are on the pedestal. They are the top dogs in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is the top dog quarterback in the NFL. So then we got Virginia Tech defensive back Kamari Connor, and a lot of people said that he was better in his first few years at Virginia Tech than he was the last years, because he was playing in a position that he was more comfortable. But I could see this guy playing the nickel back for the Chiefs, and I mean, this guy is supposedly very, very, very talented. So, and then you've got I think that's San Francisco. I can't remember what college he was at, but defensive end B.J. Thomas. And I hope I got that name right. B.J. Did I get that right? B.J.? It's just two letters. So anyway, I've got those, and B.J. Thomas, is another defensive player that we're going to use. So hopefully we can get these. Now we've got this Texas defensive tackle, Keandre Colburn, and he's from Texas, and he is a big boy. I'll tell you what, I see Don Terry Poe in him, and Don Terry Poe played pretty good for us before moving on to the Atlanta Falcons. But and then Ball State, our last pick in the 7th round was Ball State cornerback Nick Jones. So, hey, this guy doesn't need to come in and contribute. A lot of these guys really don't need to come in and contribute, but I really think that at least the first 3 are going to come in and contribute immediately. Last year we criticized some of those players that we got. We even Isaiah Pacheco. I was like, really, or not necessarily me, but a lot of people were like, who is this guy? What is he going to do? And, he became a flat-out stud, helped us lead to the Super Bowl. And because of that, we're knocking Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of here because I seriously doubt – well, they didn't renew his 5th year. So after this season, he is gone. And he could be gone even before then. So, but I like the picks that we got, and I am going to trust Brett Veach until these picks start failing. And that sometimes these picks do not. You get your first round, you get your second round. You want those to work out, and you want them to not only contribute but start in and make a difference on your team. But right now, we don't need these guys to start. We've already got a good group of guys. Now, these guys coming in, it's just going to make our team that much better. We are still the team to beat. I think we're plus 650 on repeating. But, drafts don't win Super Bowls. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia got some really great guys. Their first rounds, they got 2 guys from Georgia. Now they have 4 players from the last 2 Georgia Bulldogs football team. And, they're gunning to come back out to face Kansas City again, meet them in the Super Bowl so they can get their championship. So I just see you got these teams. You got Houston, who had the 2nd and 3rd pick. They made their trades so they could get their quarterback, even though a lot of people was saying, they wasn't talking about getting one. I think they were just hoodwinking everybody because they did get one. And I want to say that they did get the best quarterback in C.J. Stroud. Now, Bryce Young is a good quarterback. He led Alabama to national title or to the national title game. But I still think that C.J. Stroud is a better quarterback. But here is the thing. If you don't have good leadership, as in good coaches, good general managers, even a good owner, you can ruin a great player. So it's just going to see how that is, because I know Houston, even though they got those 2 good picks, they also got Will Anderson Jr. On the 3rd pick, who was a linebacker defensive end. Excuse me. So anyway, but that was really, really good. But anyway, I love the draft. Now, there was a guy, and he was 6'8", like 300 and I want to say 334 pounds or something like that. And he was drafted in the 6th round. and I still I can't even remember the team. I just heard it real quick, but the reason why, and you go, this guy's 6'8", and he is he's a big man, and he, was a very good player. But why did he go all the way down to the sixth round? Is because he told them that he wanted to play in the NBA. He wanted to be an NBA player. He didn't want to be a football player. So now they're going to take him as a chance, and it could end up working out. But I think you should at least lie and say, "Look, I want to play for somebody. I want to do very well, and I want to knock some people." Because now he's lost a lot of money getting drafted in the sixth round than maybe in the first or second rounds. And even a first round, he's got a possibility of getting that fifth-year contract. But, I'll give him credit. He was at least honest. So, just like Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson told Tampa Bay in 1985, if you pick me, I am not going to play for you, but they still picked him, and he was true to his word. He did not play for him. So ended up playing for the Royals. So that was a great move by the Royals at that time.
Of course, we did have another player that wanted to be a basketball player.
And who was that?
Mr. Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, that's right.
He
played basketball. He actually played in the NCAA tournament.
And he threatened to leave the Chiefs at one point early in his career because he wanted to go and play basketball. I'm glad he didn't.
Right. Well, he became one of the best tight ends of all time.
Right.
But I still think Travis Kelce is better than Gonzalez. So, but it does help to have a great quarterback too. So, now, asking you, how did you like the draft?
Oh, well, I am like you. I didn't think they had a lot that they were really looking for other than defense, and that was B.J. Thompson was the guy's last name that they did draft. The Chiefs
did I say that wrong?
I think you said Thomas.
Oh, B.J. Thompson.
Yeah,
my
Thompson.
mistake.
But they went after the defense, and I think that was a wise move. Our offensive line, needs a little work, but we definitely need to have the pass rush to help the secondary out. So this game, I think the last couple of years, even with the Super Bowl, we have just given up a lot of points. And hopefully we don't have to keep outscoring somebody 38-35.
Right.
There can be a little bit more of a defensive struggle going on there. But the last, since Mahomes has been there, it's just we've been outgunning them.
Yeah.
And that's what's been winning it. Even when we had the Honey Badger and them on there, they were giving up a lot of points.
Right.
Some people, you love him or hate him, but the fact is that people were scoring 30 points on us, 27 points regularly.
Right.
So that's the thing. But the draft, it was fun. It was a carnival type atmosphere. A lot of stuff going on. We watched some of the kids' games and stuff up there, and all the things you could do. But I'd say it was like a big fair. The draft part of it was the thing, but I guess the NFL has made a production out of something that wasn't a production. It shows some good marketing savvy. Because there was a lot of people wanting to go to the draft that I've heard that didn't know what the draft was about, but they just wanted to go there because there's 300,000 people coming to town and everybody's going to be at the draft. So a lot of people wanted to go just because it was here, not in knowing that there were players. Well, I won't call the person's name, but anyway, they were thinking that all the football players would be there. So I said, well, none of the football players are going to be there. They've already made it.
Right.
This is for the people from college. It'll be a lot of college people there and stuff. And is that what it is? But that's the thing but good marketing is always a good thing to have. And the NFL has built this up. There's more advertising dollars going on now, and that they're just making their brand that much more valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what it is, because here's just you're picking a team. I mean, the baseball, basketball, everybody has a draft, but nobody has one like the NFL.
Oh no.
To where it's just this big thing. The city's all in an uproar about it and stuff. Although some of the businesses were a little disappointed that they didn't get the business that they thought, because the NFL draft was so self-contained.
Right.
So people came and they came to the draft, and by the time they left that, they were spent. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
So it wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on all over the city, and I've been watching some of the news reports now that they have all, business. We stocked up on this and we stocked up on that. Now what do we do with it? Well, hey, it'll still sell. It just might take you a little longer.
Right.
But I think the draft was good for the city, just like Mahomes has been good for the city. Kansas City is now more and more on the map. I mean, when the Royals won the championship, started turning things around sports-wise for the city. And then when the Chiefs came along and really stepped up the game, it has turned it around. And with the soccer that's going to be coming, I think
the World Cup.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of name recognition and notoriety as a sports type of city. I mean, we're still second tier. We're not a New York. We're not a Los Angeles or a Houston.
No.
But it is a name that people will say Kansas City. They kind of know. They might not know where it is on the map.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
But they kind of know. They'll say the Chiefs, the Royals, they've heard of them. So I think the draft overall was good. I think the Chiefs just are building on what they had. They made some good moves, I think, and we'll see how it all pans out. There may be a diamond in the rough, too, like you say, like a Pacheco and the guy Thompson that went, 166, not a high number in the draft, but you never know.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, it was really eventful. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I watched some of the people try to kick field goals, and it's so funny because you see the older people trying to do it. And yes, I know a lot of people are going, well, we figured you would be trying to go out there and kick it too. But here was the thing. The lines were long, and that was Friday night. I mean, I could imagine Thursday night was probably 10 times longer. And they said that the food lines were like an hour and a half long, and so when we got there at 6:00, it wasn't that bad. You probably waited, maybe 10, 15 minutes, which is not a big deal.
And that was a good thing about going early. Now, we got there a little after lunchtime, about 1:30 or 2, and you could pretty much walk right up to the window and all. I got some ribs, found a place. I'll give a shout-out to Jazzy Bees.
Ooh.
They're out in Lee Summit. They say I had never heard of them before, but they had some decent barbecue and stuff there. And, the lines at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon on Friday when people were still at work, it was pretty easy to get served.
Oh, absolutely. So, yep. And people like me who work all day, work hard all day, and then have to go out there at night. So, obviously, that's where the mainly at. But that was okay. I had no problems with that. The walking was a little bit longer, but it was okay. And here was the thing. You saw different teams, and then they had guys, like you would see them at the football games, especially like the Raiders. They had all their, costume, makeup, and dress up and all that.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And now I know there was a couple of Raiders that didn't dress up like that, but there were some Raiders that were dressed up. I think Cardis and I got a picture of a Seahawk fan. He had his hair and all that, but it was so cool to see that. And we were at the light just before we were getting ready to walk over to Liberty Memorial so we could go in from the back way. And this guy was wearing a Minnesota jersey, and I turned around and I looked at him. I said, oh, you know that there's no Viking fans allowed here, right? And just start laughing. And that was the great thing. There was no fighting. I believe there was no incidents. I know there was a few minor stuff, but you're gonna
Yeah.
with 300,000 people, you're gonna get that. But there was hardly anything. The people were great. I know Cardis and we were talking with people. Afterwards, we went down to Westport and ate there. We ate a place called, I think, Chicken Inn or something, right on the main street where Westport is. And that was a great place. It was kind of cat a corner from Kelly's. And
Oh, okay.
I had not seen Westport in a while. And like the Beaumont Club is gone, it's no longer there. Everything looks new. It looks the same, but the places, what they're called, is all different. It was like, oh my gosh, I just could not recognize it. So we were actually going to go to Denver, the Denver Inn or something like that, where they had biscuits and gravy. And we were going to eat those, and they didn't have the biscuits at night. So we were like, oh man, we didn't want to do that. So the waitress was really sweet, and she goes, well, just go on up here and you can hit a few of those places. And so we were very appreciative, because usually you want, as a waitress and an owner, you don't want people leaving to go somewhere else. But, she was pretty awesome. So we went in there, and I'm telling you what, that chicken was good. Oh my gosh, we had loaded fries. I had wings. Oh my gosh, it was a little expensive, but man, it was so worth it. So definitely, I definitely want to go back out there again.
And what was the name of this place?
I want to say Chicken Inn. It was a chicken place. It was, gosh, I'm going to look it up when we go on break, which is any moment now. I'm gonna take a look and see exactly what that place was called, but it was awesome. And then it was like one area where you got your food and everything, and then next door, which was like in the same building, they had an ice cream bar. Now I didn't see all the ice cream and everything else, but man, I'm telling you what, I know that if I went in there, I would have been eating all that, and we had to end up taking home leftovers. And yes, a big guy like me that eats a lot, I was full. I couldn't eat it all, so I had leftovers for a couple of days. So, but we are at halftime on any given Sunday. I am Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice. DJ Scatter George Walker running the show and producing the show. Coach 24 is out of town, but he is still he's still a member of this awesome show. And we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we are going to talk some baseball. Royals actually had a great game, and then they had a bad game. So I know, bad game, of course. So anyway, this is KUAW 816-599-6893 is the phone number. Give us a call. Hi there, Brian Kress, the awesome voice on any given Sunday. And I had to look up something, and so it was taking me a little bit. So I'm telling DJ Scatter that I'm ready. He goes, "It's about time."
Yeah, we had just a little bit of an extended break there, but
Yeah.
thank you guys for hanging in there. You're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. You can pick us up on Facebook, on YouTube. You can also listen to our audio side on the TuneIn Radio app, online radio box, mytuner.com. And if you have a smart speaker like a Google or Amazon, tell it to play KUAW, and you can actually hear us. We broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KUAW Radio. And now back to the awesome voice and any given Sunday.
Oh, well, thank you there, Mr. George Walker, DJ Scatter. So anyway, so that was good. And I've got a notice that I will give at the end of the show that I was looking up at. But right now, we are going to do the power rankings of Major League Baseball. And, well, you know where Kansas City is. They are ranked 29th out of 30. So they are not the worst team. But Oakland is tanking way worse than the Royals are. I mean, I guess the Royals are trying to act like that they're trying to play some great baseball, but the Oakland Athletics, because they are wanting to get out of there, go to Las Vegas, and their run differential is 117. Oh my gosh. And video clip edited to obscure signs unflattering to management. One. I mean, so, and here's the thing: the Oakland Athletics are actually coming into Kauffman Stadium to play the Royals. I believe it's this weekend. So, they are. So we got the two worst teams playing. So we're hoping that the Royals come in and they are playing. They'll play some good ball. They did win their second home game of the year after losing 10 in a row. And it was a shutout. Greinke pitched 5 innings, though I am not sure why he only pitched 5 innings. He only had 44 pitches in those 5 innings. And then they had relievers taken over, but they did get the win. They got a shutout, their first shutout of the season. So congratulations. And then today they lose 13-10, and they give the Baltimore Orioles 22 free bases, 9 walks, I believe 5 stolen bases, a pass ball, I think a wild pitch. I mean, it totaled up to 22 free bases, which equals 5.5 runs. And so 5.5 runs is a lot to give. And they did score 10 runs today, so they did put up a lot of runs. But Aroldis Chapman got lit up. Lyles got lit up. Everybody got lit up with the Royals. They were already down 8-1 early in the go. But they kept fighting. I'll give them credit for that. But still, I mean, to me, it's not that big of, you need to perform better than that. I mean, yeah, you're fighting to barely lose is not enough. And you don't want to be matched with the Oakland Athletics right now. And that's where they are matched with. So now saying the Tampa Bay Rays are the number 1 team in baseball. They have they've scored the most runs. I believe they scored 230 runs. They've only given up like 68 runs, which is both of those lead Major League Baseball. And this is a team that plays in a dump of a arena or stadium, whatever, and they get old people that come in and watch it when they have nothing else better to do. So they don't have people coming in, and yet they can find a way to have a great team playing very well. I just don't get it. So, but now the Tampa Bay Rays are playing the Pirates, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Mets, the Brewers, and Blue Jays, and all of those teams are actually considered very good teams. Let's see. You got the Yankees that are the 13th ranked. You got Orioles that are ranked higher than the Yankees. They're the fourth ranked. They're the fourth best team with the third best record in baseball. In baseball, not in their division. In baseball. You've got the Mets. They are the seventh best team. You got the Brewers. They're the fifth best team. You got the Blue Jays. They're the third best team. So this will find out just exactly how good they are. But saying that, you've got all these good teams. And here's a shocker. You've got the Pittsburgh Pirates. And when you think of the Pittsburgh Pirates, you're always thinking of, you don't think of them when Barry Bonds was playing and in the 80s and 90s and playing for a chance to go to the World Series. They're usually around with the Royals. They are ranked 6th. They have the second best record in baseball, but they ended up losing 2 out of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays. So it just shows just how tough Tampa Bay is. But Pittsburgh Pirates are finding ways to win. They are finding ways to get good players to play. They obviously have good enough management and coaching to lead the teams to play very well. Royals right now, I'm not high on this manager we've got. I am not high on the scouting who is getting us these players. You know, Baltimore drafted the same, maybe a few places higher than the Royals, but the Royals were 11th or higher. Baltimore was like 7th and higher, but Baltimore's players are playing well. Baltimore is 21-10 right now. I believe that's still the third best record in baseball. And you just can't understand. I just can't understand for the life of me why the Royals can't do it. Well, it has to go back to scouting somehow. You know, you draft these players, so the guys that are in the draft room are trying to draft these players, and obviously, you know, we got a whole bunch of pitchers from the 2018 draft, 2017 draft, and they are not panning out right now. Brady Singer is the only pitcher that is even worth anything right now. They're struggling. I mean, MJ Melendez is struggling. I mean, yes, he's hit some home runs, but he is struggling. He was a catcher, and now they're moving him out into the outfield. So maybe just the change of scenery like that will maybe get him to get going a little bit. But we were so sick and tired of, to be honest, Ned Yost after the World Series run. And if you think about it, in 2014, they were about ready to get rid of Dayton Moore and Ned Yost before they had their big run, because they had lost like 8 straight games. I don't know if it was 8 straight games in a row, period, or if it was 8 straight home games in a row. But anyway, they were struggling before they finally kicked it in gear and got better, and then made their historical run in 2014 and 2015. I just don't get why we can't find good people to to lead this team. You know, we had Matheny, and Matheny led St. Louis to a World Series, and I'm not sure if he led them to a championship or not. I think he did. But still, he comes to the Royals, and they are just horrible. so they end up getting rid of him. Um, I just don't understand. I know we're small market, but I see all these other small markets. I see Milwaukee Brewers. I see Pittsburgh Pirates. I see Tampa Bay Rays, um, Minnesota Twins, and Minnesota beat the Yankees in a series for the first time since 2001. Um, that's 22 years ago. The Twins beating the Yankees. So the Twins are playing well. They are 5-1 against the Royals, who will be playing them, I believe, in July. But but Minnesota is ranked 11th, and the Yankees are 13th. So of course, you beat the Yankees in the series for the first time since 2001. You get ranked higher. Them the rules. So I totally get that. Yankees right now, they don't have Giancarlo Jan guy. I can't even think. Stanton. G. Stanton, he's not playing. Aaron Judge is not playing. Carlos Rodon is not playing until maybe June. I mean, right now they don't have their top players, but they are still ranked 13th because they still have other players that will play. Well, they dropped 9 spots. They were fourth and dropped to ninth, but still, I mean, they're still in the top half of baseball. I mean, even the Arizona Diamondbacks, who is struggling just as bad as the Royals have, they are 14th. They are playing well. You've got the Cubbies that are 15th. You've got Boston that is 17th, and Philadelphia is struggled. They're trying to get Bryce Harper back as soon as possible so he can get going. Cleveland Guardians, they're struggling. They were actually supposed to be the team to beat in the AL Central, and they're struggling right now. Even Miami Marlins, they are 10-0 in one-run games after sweeping the Cubs. So they swept the Cubs. You've got the Giants, who are not playing well. The Angels, Shohei Ohtani is about the only guy on their team because even Mike Trout is not really performing that well. Ohtani is going to leave out of there, and I wish the Royals could find a way to get him to come on there because I'll tell you what, that would definitely help out. Excuse me. The White Sox we got the White Sox in Detroit, so we have a opportunity to try to at least match them, but we can't even do that. The manager that is that was the hitting coach for the Royals last year. He's now the manager of the White Sox. And to be honest, I wouldn't want him as our manager either. So I'm just telling you, there's just, I guess it's early. There's 32, 32 games played. Royals are 8-24. They're playing 25% ball. They just need to get it going. So we'll definitely do that. Now we'll go to the NBA. And in the NBA, Joel Embiid, who played at Kansas, finally wins an MVP. He did have a fantastic year. Jokic is second, and then Antetokounmpo was third. And I can't talk for some reason. Do you know what's going on with me right now, Mr. Walker?
Well, I think part of it was, as you said, I think you've had a pretty busy week. And as we know, if you're out there playing, and what the teachers used to tell you can't hoot with the Owls if you want to soar with the Eagles. So I think the golf game, NFL draft, all that. Sometimes we're tireder than we think we are, and the brain just doesn't put things together right. But you're doing a great job,
Oh, well,
and we are so glad to have you here with us.
oh, absolutely. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, yes, Friday night I went to the draft after work. Thursday we had a fantastic show. DL Marshall was on, and he performed Saturday night. That was an awesome show. I loved that show. It was great. Enjoyed that. Bam Brown, Carrington Lopez, they all rocked it, and there was other guys that rocked it. So Missy B was the DJ. She
Oh,
was
that's right. Yeah, they had a big comedy show.
Yes,
too, yes,
they
yes,
did.
Yes. How was that?
That was awesome. I loved it. And you know what the best thing about that was? It was funny as heck and no cuss words.
Oh,
no,
wow.
no, not even close. I mean, it was just funny. It was hilarious, and I totally enjoyed it. So, absolutely. And I believe they are performing again May 28th. So I will have to let people know and maybe get him back on the show to do his show again, or to talk about it. So, but yeah, so we had our show Thursday night, and then I went to football practice, and then I went home, I went to work, and then I went to the NFL draft. And then Saturday, I get up early, I go to work, I do the show, go to the show, and I want to say there was something else that I went to my best friend's sister, Lori. She had a birthday, so we went to dinner to celebrate her birthday.
Oh man, yeah, you
Then I went to the show and hung out. It was a great time. And then Sunday I rested a little bit, and then Monday I virtually started back up. Monday I worked all day, and then I had some things to do. And then Tuesday I worked and bowled, and then Wednesday I was off. But I went to church, men's fellowship that Darwin was the pastor of. So I enjoyed that. And then we went golfing, and then I went bowling. And then I get home, I get some rest, I go to work, I come straight here.
Yeah.
I just run. So
that fun can be tiring.
it can be, but at least I'm not sitting there on my duff doing absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
But anyway, Embiid was he became the MVP of the NBA, and it was great because usually the big men are not winning it because he is literally a big man. Now, you say, well, Antetokounmpo is a big man, but he is a 7-foot power forward. So he's not technically a big man, and so Jokic is the exact same thing. But, but to match him up with other players, the other big men like Akeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, those were big guys. And he averaged 33 points a game, which was number one in the league. He shot over almost 55% from the field, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, just under 2 blocks, and 1 steal. And he shot 85.7%. Averaging almost 12 free throws a game. So he's averaging 85%, which is roughly, you make, I would say, 8.5 free throws every game, if he's averaging that much. So I'm just, he had an awesome year. And so, and Philadelphia right now is in a fight with the Boston Celtics. They are 1-1 after they got blown out by Boston last night. They lost, I think, by 32 points. It was like 120 to 85 or something like that. They just got totally worked over. But they did win the first game, even without Embiid. So so Boston has got their hands tied up. And then you've got the other one. Oh, you've got the Lakers and you got the Warriors. And I really hope the Warriors beat the Lakers because I don't want to see LeBron James going to the NBA Finals. But saying that, the Lakers are really playing some great ball, and they are up 1-0 on the Warriors, and so they're playing in San Francisco. Well, actually, it's not in San Francisco. It's out. I believe it's outside of it, and I can't think of where it is offhand. But anyway, if the Warriors lose this game, and I believe they play either tonight or tomorrow. But if they end up losing, they are in big trouble.
Say if they go down 2 and then head back to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I could see a sweep. I could see the brooms coming out. And the Kentucky Derby, the 149th Kentucky Derby. Oh my gosh! Next year will be 150 years that they've been doing that. Oh my gosh, that is a long, long, long time. So the favorite is Forte, and the rider is Ortiz Jr. He's a 3-1 favorite. The long road or the long
shot.
Yay, that's
there
what it is.
Go.
Long shot is a guy named or is a horse called Connoisseur, and I see Sun Thunder. Those two are 50. Oh, there's 3 of them. There's another one, Race Kane, and Corrales is running with him. And so those 3 are 50-1. So, oh my gosh. So we've got a lot of sports going on this weekend.
As you talk about the Kentucky Derby, who's going to tell them to mount their steeds this year?
It's a guy. Isn't he a local?
Young guy,
young local guy. Oh, I know. Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
Mahomes.
Right. So he'll be at the Kentucky Derby.
Well, it's good that he's out there in Kentucky because right now his brother is making a bad name for him. I guess the incident that he had after the Super Bowl, after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Jackson Mahomes thinks that he owns the town now, and he had an incident where he was assaulting and battering people up, and now he is arrested on 3 charges, $100,000 bond. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Oh,
what can you say? Your kid brother's just out there.
Oh my gosh! I'm just like I feel so bad for Patrick.
It's something for the family, but I think that being that it's a brother. I don't think it's going to be something that really holds on to Patrick. I mean, the Mahomes name doesn't need to have anything against it, but I really don't think that people will look at this as anything that Patrick is, connected to.
Oh, no, but all the naysayers and the haters, kind of like Tom Brady, when you find something just a little bit, you take full advantage of it. And I just
he might be the greatest quarterback, but what about his brother?
Right, exactly. Yeah. He can't control his brother, so though you would like to think he could, but that guy needs to get his priorities straight. But our show is over, but I want to shout out one thing. Wednesday morning, Tori Bowie, a 3-time U.S. Olympic medalist, was found dead at 32.
Oh, wow.
They don't know what happened. So I just wanted to say condolences to her.
That was a young lady, right?
Yes, she was
Yes.
32 years old, and she had won. She won 3 medals at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, including silver in the 100 and bronze in the 200. And then she ran the anchor leg on the 4x100 relay, which the Team USA won gold. And then she,
Wow.
and yeah. So in Mississippi, where she is from, November 25th is Tori Bowie Day. So it's sad news, and so prayers to her family
Yes,
for
yes.
that. So I didn't want to do it on a bad note, but I did want to mention her. So anyway, the Royals are playing this weekend. Go out and watch them. And so enjoy them. And is the Comets, or not the Comets, but the is Sporting KC
Sporting
playing?
KC.
Sporting KC is out there. Go support them. Be the best fans, like what we're showing everybody. So with that, with George Walker, DJ Scatter producing the show, Coach 24 Darwin Penny, and myself, Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a phenomenal sports weekend.